Welcome back to day 2 of the Informs Business Analytics Conference. Yesterday featured so many great sessions, it was hard to pick my favorite. The great news is that you don't have to choose. You can access all this great content, from thought-provoking poster sessions to interactive panel discussions and to the impressive selection of technical tracks, are available on demand for 30 days after the conference. If you missed out on our plenary speaker, Kate Darling, be sure to go back and watch her compelling presentation on humans' emotional response to robots. I might think a little different about my Roomba now. One of the exciting features of the Virtual Business Analytics Conference is the high level of competitions that are featured. At an in-person conference, you would never have the opportunity to view all the finalist presentations. But this year, you have the benefit of really immersing yourself in the impressive work in operations research and analytics that is going on all around us. Be sure to watch the presentation from the UPS George T. Smith Prize finalist and the 6 2021 Edelman finalists before the winners are announced at the Edelman Award ceremony tonight at 5:30 p.m. Just like watching the Oscars, when you have actually seen all the movies that are up for the Best Picture, you will have a vested interest and will have your favorites to root for. You can also go back and watch the Syngenta Crop Challenge finalists compete for a prize of up to $5,000. And today, in the Informs Prize and Special Sessions track, join in the Innovative Applications and Analytics Award finalist presentation. The winners of these 2 awards will be announced at the closing plenary session on Wednesday. Earlier, I had the opportunity to sit down with Inform's Executive Director, Elena Gerstmann. Let's take a look at what we had to talk about.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Informs Business Analytics Conference. I am so excited to be here. My name is Elena Gerstmann. I'm the Executive Director at Informs. This is my first business analytics meeting because I just joined Informs last summer in the middle of the pandemic. So if you are a first-time attendee, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning attender, also, welcome to what's going to be a great few days. It's going to be inclusive. It's going to be virtual. It's going to be really intelligent and collaborative, and we're going to be doing networking. You'll also be hearing from Dayana Cope, who's the conference chair, every day as she provides us with daily updates. So I thought a fun way to kick this off is to welcome and say hello to Dayana Cope. Again, she has been doing great work as the conference chair. So Dayana, thank you for taking time out of your calendar, out of your busy schedule to talk with me.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's great. Everybody is excited to go back to meet in person. But the one great thing about having a virtual conference is that you're able to make your own schedule and watch the content on demand, you know, as your schedule allows. So this is great. It's exciting.
I actually reserved every single day just for this conference. So I will be attending things in real time and listening to the Q&A, and I'm quite excited. So thank you for all the work that you've done on this and the organizing committee as well. Now, Dayana, you've been a member of Informs for a while now, and I wanted to understand a little bit more of the connections and the impact that Informs has had on you as a professional and in your career.
Yeah, so I think one of the most important things about Informs, and one of the things that I really have gotten value out of my involvement in Informs, is the networking. It's just your ability to meet people, you know, throughout your professional career. When you're starting out, you get to, you know, meet people that have been doing this for years, and you know, you have the opportunity to have mentors to guide you through your whole professional career. You know, and even, you know, in my current state, and, you know, I've been doing this for quite a bit, but, you know, having those networks within Informs, it could even lead you to your next job, who knows? So I think the best thing that I've gotten out of Informs is that ability to meet with like-minded people and learn from them, you know, see what they're working on, and, you know, kind of share best practices, you know, through the roundtable. So yeah, that to me is one of the most valuable parts of being a member of Informs.
I love that. I mean, it's definitely a two-way street, because Informs and our community benefits from your involvement, and then you benefit from your involvement. So I love that. It's a win-win. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. So, Elena, I wanted to take a moment to share how lucky Informs is to have you as a new executive director. I'd love to know what attracted you most to this organization.
It's really the meaningful work that our members and our community does. And I think about, certainly in 2020 when I joined, the height of COVID, and it's like the members, the researchers, the academics, the practitioners within our community of Informs will change the world. And I not only think that our community can change the world, but I think the world needs to be changed by the folks in our community in terms of thinking about better decision-making in a smart scientific way based on technology and data and statistics and applied math. And I just think that Informs is so important to that. I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. Absolutely.
Great. One of the things I've been thinking about, Diana, is the stuff that we've learned. Like I certainly started my work mid-pandemic. When you think about pandemic and then post-pandemic, what are the lessons that you've learned that you're going to take with you as we go to the end of 2021 and beyond?
So I think the pandemic has taught us a lot. And for me personally, I think there's a lot of things that, have made me a better person, a better mother, by having this time with, more time with my kids. So, I think there's a lot of things to learn from this time. On the conference side, I think, there's a lot of good things that we can carry on, like, this ability to have access to the conference content for some time, even after the conference, so that, we can go back and see things that maybe we were really interested in and we couldn't focus too much on it. The flexibility in scheduling the conference. And then also something really important is the ability to include some of our attendees that are, outside the United States, just around the globe, because we're able to, offer this content at any time, in another time zone. They can just jump in and see what we've done. Also, like I mentioned, the networking, is still available, and, we're using some really cool technology, some AI-driven networking in the platform that we're using that will hopefully allow us to connect with, like-minded individuals and allow us to connect and network like we would in a person conference.
I certainly I've attended other conferences. I love the fact that I can listen to content afterwards. It kind of makes me feel like a superhero that I can be in multiple places at once. The other thing that I've noticed, I'm not an introvert, but I know plenty of people are. And I know that the virtual setting allows introverts or shy individuals to actually ask questions and be more participatory than when they're in person. So I think that's a nice added benefit as well as virtual.
Yeah. I agree, definitely. Yeah.
Now a question, like I know that you grew up in Orlando and then you worked for Disney. I know now you work for Engineering USA, but I have to ask you the Disney question. Was it your dream growing up in Orlando to work for Disney?
It's funny because when I joined Disney, it was like coming back home for me. Because having gone to school in Orlando, I finished high school in Orlando, went to University of Central Florida. I had a lot of interactions with Disney. I actually did my senior design with Disney at the warehouses, and I did a few internships with them. So I was already familiar with a lot of the players, a lot of the work that happens there. So for me, it was a little bit like coming back home when I actually took a full-time position with Disney the second time around. So yeah, I think, it's wonderful to be in analytics at Disney just because it's so exciting to see your work, and you walk out into the parks and you see what you've done, and you see the guests experiencing the attractions and, just having fun. I mean, what else? What a great company to work for when, you have your number one priority is to make people happy, right? And using analytics to make people happy is a little bit of a different thing to do, but, it's exciting to be able to see how you affect people, with your work.
That's awesome. So really silly question here, but my son's favorite character was Piglet. Did you ever get to meet the real Piglet?
I did. I did get to meet a lot of the characters. Piglet was one of them.
You have a favorite one?
I do actually. I have three girls, so of course my favorite character has to be a princess. But my favorite character is Mulan, just because I feel like she epitomizes that idea of like you don't need a Prince Charming to make it. And she goes out there and she works hard and she achieves her goals. There's a story about family and honor. So, I really like her as a character.
It's awesome. I love Disney. Flipping back, another question about Informs. I know that you've won the prestigious Informs Volunteer Service Award. Can you tell us a little bit more about why it's important to give back as a volunteer for Informs?
Yeah, I'm wearing my pin. I'm very grateful to have received this award. I think it's important to give time back to the community because I think that's how you really get benefit out of being a member at Informs. Being a volunteer just puts you out there in terms of like the people that you're going to meet, the initiatives that you're going to be involved in, getting to know more about Informs and so many things are happening within Informs that, if you volunteer your time, you'll be able to get to know what's going on and hopefully be able to influence some of the things that are happening and some of the things that are coming up. So I think for me, the most important thing is just, getting as much, back as you put in, right? Because, if you put in your time, I feel like you're able to get a much better experience as being a member of Informs.
I love that idea. It really is about getting back what you put in. So thank you. Quick question on the Engineering USA. Can you tell me a little bit more about? I know it's a relatively new job. What do you do?
Yeah, so it's a new job. I've been there for maybe 7 or 8 months. It's a consulting company, and it's an interesting thing because I thought for me, when I left Disney, it was a great place for me to go because I've always been a believer that to apply analytics, the best way to apply analytics and OR is to have rich data and to have that visibility of data within the entire system. And what Engineering USA has been doing for the past few years is doing that digital transformation for manufacturing. So, getting manufacturing companies into that industry 4.0. And what that does is it provides that rich data that now I take and I develop machine learning models, simulation models for those same clients. So I lead the simulation and data analytics practice for Engineering USA. And we build simulation models, OR models, data science for these types of clients. Right now, we're building a pretty cool model for the Navy.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting. The top secret. You don't have to answer that. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can talk about, but it's definitely exciting and it's different than what I was doing at Disney, but it's the same, reward for me.
That's wonderful. So Dayana, I know it's April, but last month we celebrated Women's History Month. When you think about women in STEM or just women overall, do you have a woman or women that you looked up to as a role model, as a mentor?
Yeah, I actually do. I mentioned I went to the University of Central Florida, and when I was a bachelor, I'm doing my bachelor's there. I didn't really know, I was doing industrial engineering, getting my degree in industrial engineering as an undergrad. And, I was kind of looking for, okay, where am I going to focus on? And I met my advisor, Dr. Mansouri Mulligasamy. She had her small company that, she had, certain clients like NASA and a few other clients. And she engaged me and I actually did some work for her when I was an undergraduate. And that kind of opened up my eyes into simulation. And discrete event simulation, and that's that it's all history from there. That's kind of what I've done all my life is focus on discrete event simulation. And she did that for me. She is having that connection that kind of opened my eyes, and just I found something that I really enjoy to do. And then she's been involved in my life since then. I meet with her almost every month. And she's my mentor, and I learned a lot from her, and as a mother, as a professional, she's been great. So I think it's great to have these kinds of mentors. If you're a woman in STEM, it's always great to have somebody that you can look up to and that you can learn from.
I love that. That's great.
And how about you, Elena? Do you have some remarkable women who have inspired you in your career?
Definitely. I mean, I've been lucky. Lots of people, male and female, all genders, in terms of being my mentor and being supportive of me throughout my career. I know this is sometimes a cliched answer, but my mother and grandmother really taught me quite early on what you can do if you set your mind to it, and if you're smart and you're dedicated and you're focused. I mean, my grandmother came here as a 19-year-old, not speaking a word of English, and just what she was able to do with her life, and then with my mother. And then professionally, I've been so blessed with having so many great folks. I'm thinking about Dr. Leah Jamison, who was the Dean of Engineering at Purdue, and she was an early mentor of mine when I was with IEEE, and just really learning from great people, and I stand on their shoulders of giants who have come before me.
Yeah, that's true.
So Diana, I know we have to wrap up. It's been truly a pleasure to get to know you a little bit here. One day I hope to meet you in person. And again, thank you for all the hard work and the countless hours that you and your team have devoted to bringing this year's Business Analytics Conference.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Elena.
Bye-bye.
That was fun. And I wish Elena lots of success at Informs. Be sure to check out some of today's conference highlights: the 2021 Virtual Career Fair, technology showcases that offer hands-on demos of the latest in analytics software, a plenary presentation on data analytics at the New York Times by Chris Wiggins, Chief Data Officer at the New York Times, 7 topical track areas such as parks, recreation and tourism, analytics in the public sector, analytics leadership, technology tutorials, and more. We also have a Birds of a Feather networking session from 12 to 12 p.m. Eastern on the following topics: COVID challenges, leadership, machine learning and AI, parks, recreation and tourism, and public sector. These casual facilitated sessions are first come, first serve, and are limited to 40 participants. Meet new people, visit with old friends, and make the most of this unique networking opportunity. Don't forget to check out the chat rooms, which are broken down into topical areas such as life sciences and healthcare, marketing, simulation, revenue management, and more. And of course, we don't want you to miss tonight's prestigious Edelman Award ceremony at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The ceremony will recognize the finalist entries for the Franz Edelman Award, emphasizing beneficial impact, the Informs Prize, emphasizing long-term multi-project success, the Daniel H. Wagner Prize, emphasizing innovative methods and clear exposition, and the UPS George D. Smith Prize, emphasizing effective academic preparation. The winners for each of these awards will be announced at this elegant presentation. So get comfortable and prepare to fuel your thirst for knowledge during the second day of the 2021 Informs Business Analytics Conference.